The Ponderosa, Susan Stewart.
It was a magical day. The sky was a vibrant blue. It was 76 degrees with a gentle breeze. A perfect day to go horseback riding. As I groomed my horse, Jake, and Marissa groomed Joey, she told me how she was really looking forward to a bonanza run today. Now, when Marissa and I go for a gallop up in the hills, she likes to imagine that we're on the opening of the TV show Bonanza, and we're galloping up through the hills with the Ponderosa pines beside us.
All right.
So we finished saddling up. We headed over to the hills. As we started up the trail, Marissa goes, "Are you ready?" Now, there's a fine line between imagination and illusion. But as we took off up that trail as a dead run that day, I could swear I could see the Ponderosa pines rising and Hoss and little Joe Cartwright riding right along beside us. As we came to the crest of the hill, Marissa said, Did you hear that? Bonanza music. Did you see that? Ponderosa pines. At that moment, I knew it wasn't just my imagination. It was a magical day. We rode along across the crest of the hill in awe. And finally, as we started to settle out and realized we needed to head back down, Marissa said, "Do you want to head down through Morning Glow?" "Sure." "Well, are you really sure? Remember, last time we went down through there, we had an encounter with rattlesnakes." "Oh, don't worry. Richard taught me how to handle that." So we headed down. It was a steep trail, and the horses slid a bit on the way down. There was a lot of bushes that came up around beside us, growing in close. Jake was moving slowly, getting his footing, and then he stopped. He tried to back up. I looked at Marissa. "Rattlesnakes!" But I remembered what Richard taught me. And I jumped off from Jake, and I grabbed the first snake right by his tail, right below the rattler, and I shook that rattle right in front of his eyes. And sure enough, he was mesmerized, and the snake came around and bit his own tail. And I had a snake hoop. I waved that snake hoop over the rattlesnakes, and they all went off into the bushes, and I threw the rattlesnake hoop up onto the high branch to warn the rest. And I mounted back up and rode on down the rest of the trail to the open fields at the end. Having safely made it through the snake trail, Marissa and I sat in the open fields, relaxing on our horses, letting them graze, as she again told me the story of what it was like in Morning Glow in that valley when she was growing up. It was all different. She said, none of the houses were here. It was beautiful. There were carnation fields of all colors all through the valley. They were growing them for the flower shops in LA. And when we would ride down through the middle, we could see the beautiful cactus up on the hillside, where the Oaxaca Mexicanos would go up each night with their machetes and cut the cactus down for their families for their dinner at night. And they would call out, "Hasta luego, hasta luego, see you later," as we'd ride through the valley. We grazed for a little while longer and chit-chatted, and then we headed down into the housing development. As I headed down there, I could not believe my eyes. The houses, they disappeared. The carnation fields grew up, and we rode with the aroma of the carnations, down through morning glow, watching the Oaxacas cutting the cactus with their machetes for dinner, and calling out, "Hasta luego, muchas gracias, hasta luego." We came out the end of morning glow. Marissa looked at me and went, "Did that just really happen? No one will believe us." But I have a question for you. Did you hear the music?